Bollywood to Hollywood with Rampilla. Today we have two special guests, namely Nora Armani and Chiara Spagnoli Gabardi. Two beautiful names and two beautiful women. Welcome to the show. Well, you may wonder why a socially relevant film festival on Bollywood to Hollywood. Hey, if not socially relevant, what else? Films are about people. So that's why we have the founder of the socially relevant film festival, Nora Armani.
Hello.
Welcome.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. Your last name is Armani.
Yes.
Is any of your ancestors from Armani family?
That's a secret. I'm not supposed to say.
Oh, okay. Well, are you Armenian?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I am Armenian.
Okay. And how come an Armenian? Well, let me also introduce the other guest. Here is Chiara Spagnoli Gabardi.
Lovely how
Yeah,
you
did I say
said it.
that?
Lovely to meet you.
So you're a publicist for the
Yes,
festival.
for the festival. I've been called by Nora since I've always been a film critic for a very long time, and she thought I would have been able to handle the publicity of the socially relevant film festival.
Well, you did well.
Thank you.
So, Nora,
Yes.
tell me, how come an Armenian having a film festival which is socially relevant in New York?
Well, I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that I'm Armenian. However, I must admit that I have been curating and presenting festival selections, maybe not an entire festival by itself, but sidebars and special programs in different festivals since 1992, when I first did a tribute to Armenian cinema at the AFI Film Festival in Los Angeles.
Wow.
And also at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C.
Kennedy Center, oh.
Yes.
My.
And at the time, I used to represent the Ministry of Culture of Armenia, and that is how I brought that project together.
So how come you ended up, you were an actress, right?
Yes, I'm an actress primarily, a filmmaker as well. And since I've been asked to guest curate festivals, and I've been doing this for quite some time, a few years ago I had the idea of starting this new festival, which is the Socially Relevant Film Festival. And based on my experiences from curating events for festivals before, or film series before, I was able to put it together. So,
well, what's the motivating factor?
The motivation was twofold. First of all, the festival started as a reaction to the proliferation of violence that we see a lot on our screens nowadays.
Violence in general, or violence in particular, like gender violence? Or
No, not necessarily gender violence. Of course, that's also part of it, but violence
in general, guns
as a whole.
Okay.
Right, exactly. Because I think that has a very strong effect on the way people are and react, and because we are very visual, and you can't see a commercial poster nowadays that doesn't have a gun or some sort of violent weapon on it, and some form of, and I'm like,
shooting, boom, 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 boom.
I mean, what is this fascination with violence? And I felt maybe it's about time we offer something alternative.
Okay.
That was the general idea. And also on a personal level, I had the misfortune of losing my cousin and my uncle to a violent hate crime about 12 years ago now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and in 2013, when I realized it's going to be 10 years to their meaningless and untimely death.
Where were they living?
In Egypt.
How
at
come
the time.
they went to Egypt from
They
Armenia?
were there already.
Oh,
We're
I see.
not from Armenia. I'm
Oh.
Armenian, but I was born in Egypt.
Ah, okay.
And at that point, I wanted to do something to commemorate them with a meaningful event. And I thought doing a festival that touches on socially relevant themes, refrains from any sort of gratuitous violence or violent forms of movie making would be the answer.
Does it have anything to do with the Arab Spring?
No, the Arab Spring in 2011. This I'm talking about 2004.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, this was like way before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Chiara.
Yes. Wow. Yes.
Chiara Spagnoli Gabardi.
Oh my God, it's like music. It's like
Yes,
singing.
Italian is music.
It is. You're right. It is
Yeah,
indeed.
You know, my native tongue is Telugu. They call it Italian of the East
Oh wow.
because it sounds like music, like Italian music.
It
I love Italian.
Oh, I'm glad to
Of course,
hear
Italian
that.
women too.
Good to know.
You are a publicist, right?
Actually, this has been my debut as a publicist because I've been a film critic for 10 years.
Oh, where were you?
All over, internationally.
Uh-huh.
I'm freelance, so I started with radio, as a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
Then I did print, online, and I started television a couple of years ago here in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And I still alternate all of these things. And now that the festival is over, I'm back to being a film critic from one film festival to the other. But it was very interesting for me as an experience because I knew what the press would have been interested in. And as a matter of fact, I first got acquainted with Nora and the Socially Relevant Film Festival during the first edition in 2014 because I was member of a jury as a film critic because I'm part of the Women Film Critics Circle. So we gave out an award on that occasion, and Nora and I stayed in touch, and she asked me to join the team for this edition, and I was very, very happy. Also because I had the chance to see the evolution of the festival during these 3 years, and I must say Nora did a remarkable job in terms of locations, of partners that joined the festival, and also the public as well. So you can't believe it is just 3 years old because it's been growing so quickly and so wonderfully.
Well, you speak so eloquently about Nora.
Very
But
fond.
how did you guys get in touch with each other first time? Is it because of the festival, or is it, how did you connect?
Yes, we got in touch in 2014 when I was member of the jury
Yeah, you
for
said,
some of her films.
But
And
how did you get on the jury?
I got on the jury because I'm part of a number of organizations
Oh, I
as
see.
a journalist.
Yeah.
And in New York, I'm part of the Women Film Critics Circle. So that
Okay.
circle in particular was asked to be given to
So
give an
what's
award.
your drive to be part of socially relevant festival? Are you also driven against violence like Nora?
Yes, just like Nora, I'm very fed up of seeing all this phenomenon of spectacularization of violence, how it is used as a tool of interest for audiences, this blatant use of blood and death.
But that's Hollywood.
I know, it's Hollywood, but this is a different kind
And
of...
we have Sopranos,
But I
Italiano, you know.
Well,
interject here because there are
Italian
some
American.
very interesting Hollywood movies
Okay.
that are extremely socially relevant.
Uh-huh.
One such example, for example, is the Silver Linings Playbook
Mhm.
with Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence, Robert De Niro. It's about this mentally ill or affected young man who his wife divorces, he comes back, and you know, it's about dance, it's about how a family connects together. It's extremely socially relevant, and it has these big star names. It's a Hollywood movie. It went to the Oscars, so you don't have to separate the two.
Well,
It
let's-
doesn't mean that because it's socially relevant that it's anti-Hollywood.
No, I'm not saying that, but let's go and see your socially relevant clip. We have one clip, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Let's see what it looks like. At least the audience will get an idea. So, what is that?
Well,
It was a lot of. This is part of the one film.
yes, I think, but that's the short version.
Of
This
the-
is the 30-second version. We have a longer version.
Yeah, we don't have time for long.
Yeah, unfortunately, because then you see more of the
So
films that are.
there is no
in
violence
offer.
in
Yeah.
this. As
No, no. I mean, I'm saying, well, yes, of course, it's anti-violence, but we are not Puritans and we are not nuns and priests. I mean, if there is a scene that you're showing because it's relevant to the story, it's not going to be censored, or we're not going to not show the film because of that scene. But I'm talking here about gratuitous violence, a movie that makes of violence its main raison d'être. That is something I'm totally opposed to.
Incidentally, you speak French, right?
Yes,
Raison
I do.
d'être.
Raison d'être, bien sûr. There isn't the glorification of violence.
Right.
Violence is used as a tool to tell the story, but it's not used as entertainment. So that is basically what.
How do you pick
yeah,
your
Professor-
films?
Well, we have submission platforms that we partner with. The main one, the most important one, is Film Freeway. And in fact, if anyone out there is interested, middle of May, our submissions for next year already open, and we start accepting films. The reason why we open it early on is because we need to give each film its real time to look at it and decide without having to be in a rush towards the end of the festival.
Well, that's
to
the
pick.
time I go to Cannes.
Well, that's exactly why we timed it like that, because we also go to Cannes. We take the films that are the documentaries and we showcase them at the Doc Corner at the Cannes Film Festival. We've been doing this from the beginning of the festival, and I think that offers...
So once it gets here, it goes to
Yes.
the Cannes documentary.
Right, Doc Corner. And I do that out of my own personal initiative because I feel the filmmakers who decide to make socially relevant films need to be encouraged.
But don't you think socially relevant also means not just violence, but social themes?
Of course.
Like people's struggles.
Of course, that goes without saying. The name
the
already
poverty
is
or the race or the gender
Of course, the
discrimination.
name socially relevant implies that we are showing social issues. We are stressing the violence as an additional
Okay,
point.
okay. Well, let's see if we have another clip. I think
Yeah.
we have another clip. See if that makes any difference. We have several clips.
من قتل الأرمن؟ أول فيلم وثائقي مصري يقدم للعالم تفاصيل الجريمة، تخطيطات الجناة، والمذابح التي راح ضحيتها أكثر من 1.5 مليون نفس. 100 عام على الجريمة بالأدلة والوثائق وشهادات الشهود الأحياء والذين رحلوا، المتخصصين والباحثين. الساسة والبسطاء. وثائق تنشر لأول مرة وأدلة لم يطلع عليها المشاهد من قبل. وثائقي كامل يجيب على سؤال يتردد منذ 100 عام. كل الإصابات في الرأس. من قتل الأرمن؟
Well, there is violence, but it is socially relevant because there is
Yes.
a theme.
I'm so glad that you picked this clip to show, because as you could see, there is explosion in it, there's guns in it, there's even death that you can see, bones. However, it is pertinent to the story that's being told, and it helps the narrative, and it doesn't become the theme. It's not the focus of the story.
And so many Armenians were killed. How many?
Yes, 1.5 million. This was like during the First World War.
So you're telling the story.
Yeah, the film is asking the question, who killed the Armenians? Of course, historically we know very well, but in the film they're bringing together some documents that haven't been shown before and some footage that hasn't been seen before, and they're interviewing some people that are authorities in the field. So it's quite a successful film in that sense, and it won the Audience Award.
Great.
In our festival. Also, it won another award which is very close to my heart, the Vanya Ekserjan Empowering Women and Girls Award.
What is that about?
That is the name of my cousin who was murdered, and I created an award in her name because she was a producer and director and actress, and she was very much into empowering women and so on. And I felt like doing an award in her name would be the best tribute for her memory.
And also to the cause.
To the cause as well. And the award went to Miriam Zaki, who is the speaker that you just saw in the film, who is the collaborator with Mohammed Hanafi, who is the director of Who Killed the Armenians. So kind of it wraps it up.
Chianti.
Chianti, like the wine. Chiara, Chianti.
Chiara.
We're getting tipsy on socially relevant issues.
You make me drunk. So do you have any public, what's your input into publicizing this film?
Well, I must say, as we were saying before, that this chronicles the violence that occurs, so it's not glorifying it. And it's very interesting because the two filmmakers are originally journalists in their country, and this has been probably one of also the themes of other movies that participated in this edition. For instance, All Meshed Up, which is another documentary on a different kind of issue, considering medical consumer advocacy, has also been made by journalists. So I must say that the storytellers of this edition are very well prepared in relating the facts as they are. And
well, let's see. Maybe there are other clips we have. Maybe I think they say
they can be more eloquent than
speaks,
1,000 words.
Exactly.
Can we have another clip from the other films, please?
Een kunstheup, dat is geen pretje, maar een metalen kunstheup, die kan zelfs gevaarlijk zijn.
Artsen moeten terughoudend zijn met het plaatsen van zogeheten bekkenbodemmatjes bij vrouwen met een verzakking. Er kunnen namelijk ernstige bijwerkingen optreden.
Het is te gek voor woorden. Het is te gek voor woorden, want in principe is het wel zo dat zo'n matje er wel voor heeft gezorgd dat ik invalide ben.
We zijn geen dieren, we zijn mensen. Mensen, ja.
This is the illusion that everyone believes that you are getting a certificate for safety. And that is not true.
Well, I think you've done a very good job of mimicking what the mesh manufacturers have been submitting to regulatory authorities. I would say the safety of your mesh is the same as theirs. Very poor.
What is the percentage we get the CE mark?
Because they want to know we can
100% you can get the CE mark, yeah?
So there is a clinical necessity, there is clinical evidence,
There are well-known materials. Why not?
Yeah.
So at every level here, there's biases in the system that allow you to get through.
So here we go talking about biomedics and all those other things. So you have anything to say about that?
Yes,
Nora?
this is a powerful piece that is also, it also features Erin Brockovich, who is a staunch advocate of consumer rights. And as you know, Julia Roberts played the Hollywood movie, which is another socially relevant film, but it's out of Hollywood. And it shows these women did such an incredible job by establishing a fake manufacturing firm, making these devices, taking it to the European Council and getting it approved to show how lax the system is.
Well, let's see some other thing, which we have a couple of more clips before we run out of the time. So could we do the other clip from other?
What kind of person would sell their own child?
It's just hard, I think, for Americans in general to believe that this is going on in our country, in our states, in our neighborhoods, maybe even next door.
Lately I don't recognize you. The fire in your eyes is fading into ember.
You do know that he's going to try and sell
So while you're out there
Get him to Lincoln now.
in the darkness,
Think I'll make more than last time? She's younger for sure.
praying you'll remember.
I'll do whatever it takes to get my girls back.
So will I.
You were made to shine. You were made for life. Even if you've lost your way, turn and you will hear love said. So baby, burn bright.
I know how scary this must be for you. We're not alone in this, Miss Aggie.
Now please, you have got to try and believe me. Because my Elle is still out there. And we gotta go get her back. Today is the day.
In Greece, everything's done through a relationship.
How am I gonna get to them if I don't know where they are? Save them! I need your help! My girls need your help!
Let's get Sky. Sky could be anyone.
Lord, please, deliver my children from evil.
This is humanity at its worst.
Run, Ellie, run!
What if it was Madison? Would you not move heaven and earth together?
Daniel, come on!
Millions are still waiting to be rescued. Waiting for all of us to say no more.
Talk about the socially relevant theme. Here it is.
Exactly.
So you
Out in the town or in for the night.
All of our films, they're shorts, documentaries, and features, but they're all socially relevant. They have to have a social issue. But besides the films, the festival also had some very important events during this year's week of the festival. At the Bowtie Cinema on the mezzanine level, we had the festival lounge, and there were exhibitors, and one of them was the ARC project, which is about virtual reality. And the people from ARC project came from Los Angeles with founder Brian Pope, and they showcased, you know, you put the goggles and you see, you are transported to a different place, and you feel like you're actually walking in the ruins of some historical artifact that may not exist anymore, like Palmyra, which has been completely bulldozed, as you know. And so in that sense, that also was a very socially relevant experience. And
well, we don't have much time.
Yes.
But where do you want to take this
festival
to the next level?
Well, I
or
think
is there a next level?
yes, I think we made a big leap to the next level this year because we were in much smaller venues and now we are at the Bowtie Cinema. So our goal is to build it at the Bowtie Cinema so that more people know about it. We hope that we can get more partners and players in the industry on board. We have some incredible partners already, from distributors, producers, production companies. We have electronics companies. I don't want to name names because if I leave out some, others will might be
well, we have 2 minutes, so just let's see the last clip of your.
But to answer your question, the goal is to bring more people on board, both as festival supporters and participants.
Okay, let's go to the last clip.
And it was a neighborhood. It was a neighborhood. It just happened. It was exploded.
It didn't matter if you cared or not. It didn't matter if you loved living where you lived. They were taking the house.
In 1962, Nelson A. Rockefeller stunned the residents of the capital city of Albany with the announcement of a massive construction project in the heart of the city that would rock the world of the thousands who lived there.
What happens when you lose a neighborhood?
They can actually come and take our house.
I'm here to do my very best to prevent what I believe is a tragedy for the people of Albany.
So, we don't have much time, but I'm glad you came to my show, Bollywood to Hollywood.
Thank you.
Nora Armani.
Thank
and you, Chiara Spagnoli Gabardi.
Namaste.
Namaste. So I wish you all best of luck.
Thank you.
I hope you come back again on this show.
I hope so.
And I think probably we'll have a lot of audience reactions and other things. And you're going back to Italy, right?
Yes,
Venice.
temporarily to Milan for a professorship. I'm taking over again.
Oh, you're a professor.
As well, yes.
Oh,
I wear many hats. I'm also a visual artist. I'm a bit like Nora. This is part of the team.
We have to in this day and age. You can't just do one thing.
Are you going to Cannes next time?
Yes, I am. I go every year, and then I have a movie coming up in the summer, which is what I will be preparing for.
Well,
and we hope to see you at our festival as
well,
well,
also
both
at
as an
Cannes.
actor and also as a filmmaker.
That's right. That's right. We are all in this small world. And thanks for watching the Bollywood to Hollywood. Until next time, ciao.
Ciao.
Bye.